What's up, YouTube? Today we've got our Week 3 RBL match against Markarth Magikarps, aka Dragonite, and as you can see, he's brought in the Nidoqueen, Dragonite, Swallow, Gardevoir, Mega Gardevoir, Cobalion, Galvantula, and I've brought in the Emboar, Nidoking, Mega Gyarados, Clefable, Hippowdon, and Magnezone. No Sigilyph today, no Psycho Shift shenanigans going on. Nothing really hurts from it other than the Dragonite and the Cobalion, but the chances are of getting those things burned aren't very high, and not really worth the risk of losing a slot on my team, so I decided to fill it with Emboar instead. And you know, I brought in the powerhouses today. I've got Emboar, Nidoking, those guys do a lot of damage. Mega Gyarados could set up for Dragon Dances. Clefable, good reliable special wall. Hippowdon, good reliable physical wall. Magnezone, I'm running a Choice Specs Magnezone, and it's gonna be doing quite a bit. Hopefully taking down a few things on his team. He does hurt a lot from getting Flash Cannon, especially the Mega Gardevoir, because I think that's one of the biggest threats on his team, at least, because obviously Nidoking and Emboar don't really fare too well, and Mega Gyarados could also take a lot of damage from it. So really taking out the Gardevoir, I think, is going to be a huge thing. Getting rid of his flying types like Dragonite and Swallow, I think once I get rid of those two things, Nidoking is free to come in and just Earth Power everything. So yeah, that's pretty much the game plan here. Get rid of those flying types. I'm thinking he's going to lead off with Galvantula, go for the sticky webs. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of predicting. So I think I'm going to lead off with Emboar and just really scare it out and follow up with a Sucker Punch. I think that's going to do quite a bit if I go for a Flare Blitz and a Sucker Punch. Or I might scare it out, but for sure I can take something down with the Emboar. So that being said, I'll start the battle and we'll see how things play out. Catching my breath here, I don't talk that fast all the time. So, of course, I lead off with Emboar, and he's going to lead off with, we will see, Crump, aka the Galvantula. So, I kind of figured right, but he didn't. I thought he was going to go for the sticky web right away, but he decided not to and just volt switched right out of there. So, yeah, that's good, because at least I threatened that out, and he doesn't take the risk of losing his Galvantula. Unfortunately, though, I go for a Flare Blitz, and he's going to lose his Swallow, which I thought was a bit of a questionable play. I'm not sure what he was thinking, because Swallow was not going to take any hits whatsoever from an Emboar. So, yeah, that was probably not the best play. He's already down one Pokemon, and Swallow, of all Pokemon, can do a lot. So he brings in his Dragonite, and I'm thinking he's going to try setting up, or, because usually Dragonite's set up. Maybe he could have gone for a substitute. That would have been scary. Had he gone for a sub, I might have been more of a threat, but maybe not, actually. I guess he would lose his multi-scale. So he sets up a Dragon Dance. I've got my Gyarados going for an Intimidate, so he's only at 0 in attack, but +1 and speed. So I'm going to go Mega, and I didn't know this, actually. I didn't know this until afterwards, but I believe that Mold Breaker actually does negate the multi-scale. So if I go for an Ice Fang, it will do regular damage. Regular super effective damage, that is. So there's no reason for not go for an Ice Fang, because it's obviously super effective. And even with a multi-scale, I think it can do a lot of damage. Plus, I'm adamant and it, invested in attack, it's gonna do a lot. Of course it does, because it takes down the Dragonite. But I believe Mold Breaker does get rid of the multi-scale. So he brings in the Galvantula, and that's really gonna scare this guy out. So I figured, you know what, let's go switch into Gary the Nidoking, because I can eat Bug Buzzes, and if he had gone for a Thunderbolt, honestly, he didn't have any, there was nothing that the Galvantula could have really done against the Nidoking. So, it only made sense to switch into it, and then just go for Earth Powers, of course. So, because, he doesn't have his Dragonite, doesn't have his Swallow, nothing is going to appreciate an Earth Power. So, he goes into the Nidoqueen, and takes it down. So, that works out pretty well for me. And Nidoking. And he switches into the Gardevoir, and traces the Sheer Force. So, that's kind of funny, actually, because Sheer Force on a Gardevoir is pretty scary. Unfortunately, he doesn't Mega Evolve, so he does keep the Sheer Force and goes for a Thunderbolt, which is not going to do a lot of damage on How Work. But once he goes for a Shadow Ball, that will do a little bit more, actually. I was just surprised how much that Sheer Force adds to Mega Gardevoir. And I was surprised how Work took it, He ate that up fairly well. I'm a bit surprised. Of course, I Volt Switch and get out of here, because I don't really want to be taking any more Shadow Balls. And who, of course, can outspeed Gardevoir is Nidoking. So I go for another Earth Power, and from that range, I should be able to take it down, even if it's specially defensive. I think even if it's specially defensive, maybe I could have taken it down, but I'm not sure what kind of God of War it ran, but either way, it went down, so that's good. So Earth Power the Galvantula because I know there's nothing it can really do to me. So I was surprised to see no Focus Sash on it. I thought for sure this thing would have been Focus Sash. Sticky Web, Focus Sash, Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, I don't know, Bug Buzz maybe. And then he brings in Hunter, the Cobalion, and now of course I'm going to go for another Earth Power. So this thing will go down, and that will leave me at a 6-0 win, which is quite devastating, but also kind of nice because last season I got 6-0 from a Volcarona from like one turn of setting up. So it was kind of nice to be able to turn that around and get a 6-0 this season. But Dragonite, unfortunately, probably doesn't really appreciate this 6-0. He has a really good team, though. I think he has a really good team. Dragonite went down really fast. The Swallow went down really fast, and I think I'm not sure what kind of Galvantula he was running, but yeah, that was kind of unfortunate how fast this Pokemon went down. Lots of super effective hits, and Nidoking really checked a lot of his team. Emboar really applying pressure at the start of the game. Had he switched into Dragonite at the very start, I think he could have taken him one, but the multi-scale would have gone down. So maybe that's what he was trying to avoid, getting his multi-scale worn down on the first turn from Emboar, because that would have been a lot. And really, that's kind of where it just kind of went downhill from there at that point in turn one. But it was a good game. No hard feelings. Hopefully, I hope to see Dragonite come back from this, and we'll see how that goes. But moving on, next week we go against the Minneapolis Mamoswines, and I believe at the moment they're 1-1 or 1-2. I'm not sure. I don't have the record on hand, but I've got his team over here, and he's got the Mega Lopunny, the Togekiss, the Dusclops, the Jolteon, the Breloom, Ninetales, Ludicolo, Malamar, Stoutland, and Venomoth. And he's got that nose thing, which I still can't remember the name of. It involves some Nose Pass. I can't remember the name of it. I'm sure it'll come back to me later, but for now, he's got that thing. So his team, obviously, the huge threats are the Mega Lopunny, maybe the Breloom. I'm thinking that one of the huge threats is the Togekiss, considering I know what it's probably planning to do. I think we all know what it's gonna do. Maybe Nasty Plot, Air Slashes, go for flinches. That could be what he's trying to do. I'm gonna have to prepare for that. Obviously, I don't want to be getting flinched to death. So I have a really good check with Nidoking, but I gotta see what kind of team he's gonna bring in. I think Nidoking. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I think I'm getting allergies or a cold or something. I'm not getting allergies, but no. Anyways, but so yeah, he's got a pretty scary team. I'm pretty afraid of that Jolteon. Jolteon, I've used a ton before from a while ago. I know what it can do. I know how fast it is. It's a really great Pokemon, and it can hit pretty hard. So I'm thinking he's gonna be running a choice specs on it because it's already really fast. But if he's trying to outspeed Nidoking, he might be running choice Scarf. I'm not sure, but it might not even come into play because I do have quite a few things that do threaten it out. But that will be next week's match, and I am looking forward to. I think we're having it sometime this week, and hopefully schedules work well. Usually I don't have too much issues with my schedule as of now, so that should be happening this week. Be able to get that battle out next week, hopefully. But that looks to be about it, really. At this point, we're 3-0 with Nidoking not getting any he's got 6 KOs, not getting any feints. He hasn't feinted at all. He's a 6-0 differential. Same with Sigilyph, also 4-0, no feints. My team is looking pretty well, looking tip-top shape. Trades. I have been actually thinking about doing some trades and some maybe dropping some Pokemon. I haven't decided who yet. Obviously, I'm not going to do any of the major Pokemon, but I might be dropping some of the Pokemon that haven't really done a lot of work, or possibly trading. I'm looking at you, Salamence. If you can do some work in the next few matches, I might keep you. But if you're not going to be doing anything, I might decide to trade it, because right now it's just kind of sitting on the bench, and no point in having it if I'm not going to use it, right? So if somebody wants Dragonite if they want a Salamence and they think they have something for that, I'm willing to hear that. Just to hear. I'm just pure speculation right here. there's a chance I might be trading it, but if there's nothing that really fits for my team, then I'm not going to trade it, of course. But, you know, let's see what's out there. Other than that, though, really love how my team is doing this season. It's really solid. It's really breaking through those walls. It's really eating up those hits, which is exactly what I want. And it can play a little bit tricky with the Sigilyph crippling the opponent. So, that being said, I think that we're pretty much done here. So I'll see you guys next week. Guys, hope you enjoyed this battle. And if you did, be sure to hit that like button. Let's try to get 5 likes or something. Or I'm sure we have a goal of 10 someday. I don't know. Be sure to hit that like button though if you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, be sure to check out Cap's channel, or not his channel, but his videos. The Toronto Staraptors. They're doing pretty well this season as well. So I think they've got another battle coming up soon. So I'll see you guys next week though. Until then, bye.